AI results for searches about Trump's cognitive health brings up a message that says an AI overview is not available for this search. You type in Biden's name with the same question, reams and reams of AI, paragraphs after paragraph after paragraph. When you type in Trump with Alzheimer's, senility, no, it's not available. Now, we do know Google, and the leaders of Google went and kissed the ring, ass, butthole, all of the things, licked around, rim job, salad tossed. They did it all and threw us some money. I ain't never seen, Rod, where you go and usually when you prostitute yourself, you're supposed to get paid. They paid to be prostituted. I don't even understand how this is even, this is crazy.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
I think the media, and I can't talk enough about it, and again, I'm a former journalist, Pulitzer Prize winning, Polk Award winning, editorial page writer and journalist, news reporter. This complicity, you know, there have been a few saying, hey, wait a minute, that's not true. But it should be across the board an agreement that we will not let any lies stand. So I'm going to play a clip from Lawrence O'Donnell, who's also, you know, not a trained journalist, but he's on TV every night, you know, and he's got a crack staff. I know there's like 10, 11 people that put a show together and do research and stuff. So he's fact-based, you know. It's one thing that this man, I do respect that he has put the time in. But he had this thing to say about the media, and I agree with it. Play it, Smith.
The New York Times is still the greatest newspaper in America by far.
Pause.
And
I don't agree with that. Hold on. That's not necessarily true, Lawrence O'Donnell. I'm sorry. I just had, we're not letting no lie sit. That is not necessarily the truth. That is not the truth. That is an opinion. It's not rooted in fact. Okay, continue.
In the world. But tonight, the New York Times is lost. The New York Times has no idea how to cover the madness of Donald Trump. And so the New York Times ignores it. Just as the madness of King George III had to be ignored by the London Times in 1789. The Washington Press Corps is lost along with the New York Times. There is no one working at the New York Times tonight who, when they were editing their high school newspapers and dreaming about one day working at the New York Times, ever imagined they would have to cover a president of the United States who uses the official social media communications tools of the White House, government communication paid for by the taxpayer, to post fake videos of the first black minority leader of the United States House of Representatives and the first Jewish minority leader of the United States Senate. When they were working on their high school newspapers, they had no idea there would be a president of the United States who would post videos on a government-operated social media account that put fake words into Chuck Schumer's mouth, which AI makes sound exactly like Chuck Schumer, and that fake language in that video would be filled with Donald Trump-style profanity, language Chuck Schumer would never use in public, but language that the current president of the United States has shocked the world with repeatedly. Donald Trump is the first president of the United States who has been heard publicly and deliberately using profanity repeatedly, words that I can, but I will not use on this program, because as every adult is supposed to know, there are places where profanity is not appropriate. No one taught Donald Trump that. Who's going to bother to stop to talk about Donald Trump's use of profanity when he is sending troops into American cities, that he lies about being a war zone? I agree that it's just too small an item in the daily transgressions of Donald Trump. But remember, don't ever forget that the American news media almost unanimously agrees that Hillary Clinton lost her presidential campaign because she used the word deplorable once to describe some Trump voters, some of whom proved themselves willing to behave deplorably and violently for Donald Trump on January 6th, when they became the only people in American history to attack the Capitol of the United States on behalf of their presidential candidate. There are people working at the New York Times today who will insist to you that Hillary Clinton's use of the word deplorable was in and of itself deplorable. Those same people have nothing to say about Donald Trump's use of language. Absolutely nothing.
And it does seem like a small thing, but it's part of the constant drip. That is the media's job, to constantly remind us of our responsibility as American citizens, but also that that man lives in our house. That's not his house. He's going to turn it into a WWE and got rid of the Rose Garden. That's our house. 866-801-8255. So I think it's very interesting. And I do remember the deplorable thing. And the media kept going with that and the emails. Where y'all now? Again,
yes,
y'all couldn't stop with the damn emails. And you and I and they knew that this was irrelevant. They knew it was irrelevant.
And I think it's emblematic of the double standard that Trump and a lot of these conservatives are benefiting from, right? Like, this is what I was told by some people who said I'm sitting out this election, was this idea of like, we will be so shocked and outraged that there will be such a backlash to being ruled by Trump again that we will have a very progressive, liberal, revolutionary type of pushback. The media will be calling us out. And I was like, if the media won't call out that when Joe Biden stumbles, this man's this is elder abuse. And when Donald Trump stumbles, it is just another day for Donald Trump.
Right,
I said, if they can't do that today, we're not a year away from the New York Times rising up or whatever. These billionaires buying these publications and stuff anyway. So like, you're not gonna get this response that you're talking. And every day it's insulting, and every day that does make me mad if I think about it long enough, because it is enraging every day, because we're all being slapped in the face daily by stuff like this. And I appreciate Lawrence O'Donnell for calling it out and making it plain, because it honestly is going to take people like that calling stuff out at that level for us to get anywhere with this.
Everyone, not just him. And it as somebody who, again, trained journalist, I don't know what journalism is, I haven't known for a while. I was teaching it. And at some point about 5 years ago, I was like, what am I, how do we, actually it was more like 10 years ago. I don't know what I'm sending these young people into, because it's not holding up to what I know it's supposed to.
Right.
But
the
problem is, I don't even know how to prepare for this to come in every day to talk about the news of the day. We're having to pull from 10 different sources just to find out, is this true? Is this the truth? And now double down, Google, shout out to the people on YouTube. And this is why I don't have a lot of respect for that platform, because not only did we talk about them reinstating people who were banned for putting out misinformation. They were putting, we at least could say, hey, if you put out misinformation, you could be banned from a platform. So I feel a little bit better about that. That's being reversed. And now it appears that when you search on Google for, like, is Donald Trump demented? What are the signs for dementia? And you put Donald Trump's name, they're banning it. And I got this story off of Newsweek.
Wow.
They're blocking AI, because sometimes, now the AI will break it down for you, right? At the top. All the Google searches, there's an AI breakdown. AI results for searches about Trump's cognitive health brings up a message that says an AI overview is not available for this search. You type in Biden's name with the same question, reams and reams of AI, paragraphs after paragraph after paragraph. When you type in Trump with Alzheimer's, senility, no, it's not available. Now, we do know Google, and the leaders of Google went and kissed the ring, ass, butthole, all of the things, licked around, rim job, salad toss. They did it all, and threw in some money. I ain't never seen, Rod, where you go and usually when you prostitute yourself, you're supposed to get paid. They paid to be prostituted. I don't even understand how this is even, this is crazy. So
Well, I think
Google-
some people would say they being pimped. I think we have a definition for that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
They might not be the they might not be the they might not be the Johns. You know what I'm saying? In this
No, but I thought yes, I do believe they're being pimped. But don't, even the bottom bitch, she gets some money, right? Doesn't she? I mean, she might get slapped around.
I believe the documentary The Mac said I keep some broke.
Been sold. I did a book called Pimpology. I feel like I'm a little bit of an expert with Pimp and Ken. Pimp and Ken and I we were tight back in the day. Wisconsin Pimp and Ken, love him. Pimpology still is paying. Is the people who read that book. I'm just saying. I kind of got, I kind of know some things, Roderick. I'm saying you might get a little smack here. You gonna get something. You gonna get something. I
mean, they take care of them, but other than that, I keep them broke. You about to get some money. We about to lose our mind. Like they know what they doing.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will